Hi everybody, welcome to Mellow in Japan. I'm Mellow and today is another episode of Riding with Mellow. Today I want to show you guys a little different video. It's about a city that I work. My company is located on. It's called Nishinomiya. And we're gonna ride from the mountains all the way to the shore. To the beach basically. Nishinomiya, it's a city in Hyogo Prefecture. It's located between Kobe and Osaka. And it's one of my favorite cities in Japan so far. It's very nice. They have farms, mountains, the beach, harbors. It's a very interesting city. And at the same time, it's like you feel like back in the country, but it's very close to the big cities like Osaka and Kobe, you know. Basically from Nishinomiya, I would say maybe 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, you are in Kobe. Probably around 20 kilometers you can be in Osaka. So it's very convenient. And also on this video is gonna be a little challenge because I'm driving a 20-ton truck. And you're gonna go through very narrow roads until I get to my work. Just coming back from Hiroshima. So I hope you guys enjoyed the ride. We just left the Sanyo Expressway, Sanyo Kosokodoro. And this is basically the mountainsides. So from here we're gonna cross the mountains, tunnels, and until we get to the harbor. It's gonna be about 20-kilometer ride, something around 13 miles or so. It's a very nice little city. Actually, it's a huge city, like not huge, but it's a big city, a lot wide. It's always spread out. There's a lot of rich people living around here. Very clean and neat place. Is the Route 176. This area is also very close to a city called Arima, where they have these onsens, these natural places you can take baths with the mountain water, medicinal mountain water, very nice. Some of these places been around here for 600 years. I haven't had the chance yet to visit them, but it's very popular attraction in this area. If you enjoyed this video, you want to see more videos about driving in Japan, I also have some videos. Then I drive the truck towards the mountains, really narrow roads where people normally do like drifts and stuff. That was a big challenge. It happened a few months ago. I was coming back and the road was closed because of an accident. It's on my channel, you can check it out later. If you follow this road, it goes all the way to Osaka, but takes a long time. Probably over an hour to arrive in Osaka through this way here. The place I'm going is located by the harbor, but sadly there's no highway to get. There's highways to get there, but it's very, very busy roads. So it's much faster to just go to the mountains basically. Because if I take the regular highways, it takes a long time to get there. And then it starts. From here on, it's gonna be very narrow. Some streets don't even feel like you can go with a truck, basically. Actually, here's still a little wide, but over there, after a few kilometers, it's gonna be very, very narrow. It's January 22nd, 2020. It's very cold outside right now. It's like 66 degrees Celsius, mid of the winter. One of the things I love about Japan, the winter is not so cold like in America or Canada. Only like on the north of Japan is very cold and has a lot of snow. On these areas here, normally it doesn't snow. If it does, it's very little. Even you can see the trees, most of them are still green. Some are dry, of course. We still have the 4 seasons, but if you're used to the weather in America, I would say it's kind of like Georgia, pretty much. South Carolina, similar to these areas. So it's actually comfortable winter. It's not so bad. The houses don't even have like a central heating system because there's no need for that. Normally people just use like regular heaters and split air conditionings. Winter in Japan, if you consider Tokyo, from Tokyo south, is very nice. Of course, it's a little cold, but nothing really crazy. Some areas, they have like a lot of snow, like it's lake snow effect, like you have in Buffalo. They also have that in Japan. Some areas north of Tokyo. Not down here. Down here is very. It's not often you see snow. I really enjoy the winter around this area. See, people even ride motorcycles on the winter. You can even see them traveling on the highways, at least on this area from Osaka, Nagoya, down from Tokyo, North of Tokyo, it got a little more snow. Way more snow than around here. So. Just passing by a country club. There's a golf club here, stuff. As you can see, the road is narrow. The truck is basically right between, fits exactly between the lines, probably a couple inches on each side. So basically fits the highway is as wide as the truck is. So sometimes just crossing another truck, you just have to pull a little on the side so you don't crash your mirrors on it. You can see by the cars. They say this city is a big city, but at the same time, many parts of it, it feels like you're back in the country, like you don't see many people walking on the streets. And there's a lot of empty space around here. And nature is all over, which is very nice. So narrow. Sometimes I have even to stop to cross another truck on the highway. Not here, but a little ahead. Speed limit is gonna be 30 kilometers an hour. Basically like 18 miles an hour. I have to go very slow. It gets a little crazy. For now it's still very good though. Another thing I love about Japan, most of the time it's sunny. We have some rainy season sometimes, but I think it's like in May. But normally, most of the time is always sunny and blue skies. It's so beautiful. I used to live in a place before I came to Japan, and most of the time is like London, always rainy and gray skies. I don't really like that. I like the blue skies and sunny days. It doesn't have to be hot, but as long as it's sunny, I'm very happy. See, there's a little restaurant, udon, in the middle of nowhere here. Across the river, there's a little river here on the side, but you can't see because of vegetation. Car dealer over there on the other side. There's some business, but they are kind of spread it. Penny Lane. Another little car dealer. And we're going up the mountain. There's even an Indian restaurant over here, Little Lanka. Of course, always a 7-Eleven. In the middle of the top of the mountain, basically. Another thing I love about Japan are the convenience stores. They are everywhere, 24 hours, always fresh food, very nice and affordable. Even in the middle of the mountains you find some convenience stores sometimes, like that one. This area actually only cars and trucks are allowed, and motorcycles of course. No pedestrians or bicycles allowed in this area, because it's gonna be a tunnel very soon. And the road is narrow without the shoulders, so many roads in Japan have no shoulder. But if something happens, have a flat tire or something, the cops normally they come very fast and give you support. You know, they put flares on it. It's very nice actually. They take care of people, you know. To serve and protect, they really take that very seriously here. Very nice. This tunnel has almost 2 kilometers, 1,743 meters long. And after this tunnel we have a very steep hill. One thing I got scared when I started driving Japan was about the tunnels, because in Japan there's so many tunnels everywhere. Every time I go to Hiroshima, each way I cross probably 30 or probably around 40 or 50 tunnels. But I just found out, even on earthquakes, they're pretty safe, you know. The way they build, they shake it and they just move around a little, and so they don't collapse, you know. It's very rare for a tunnel to collapse, at least in Japan. And they always also doing some maintenance on them all. When you travel at night, you always see crews doing maintenance on tunnels. So they really keep it nice and neat, you know. So I'm not afraid that anymore. In the beginning, I was a little afraid because I wasn't sure. But then after I listened to a lot of people talking and the way things work, it's very rare for an accident happen in a tunnel. A collapsing tunnel, you know, is very unlikely to happen. There's a curve after the tunnel, and you go now for a 8% downgrade. Yeah, here's the mid of the mountains. And since we start, we are in Nishinomiya. We're gonna be all the way in the same city, just different areas. On our right, we have Monte Rocco, a very tourist attraction. Many places in Japan they do like this. For example, there's 2 lanes going up and only 1 lane coming down. Even some avenues and some cities sometimes one side is 2 lanes and the other side is only 1 lane. I see that pretty often around here, this area. Something I've never seen before anywhere. You're gonna see it very soon. In the middle of the road over there, probably in a few minutes, you're gonna see a real huge rock right in the middle of the way. It's interesting how they kept that rock over there. The rock is as big as a truck, maybe 15 meters long or something, 45 feet long or something. It's huge, and it's right in the middle of the road. You have to go around it. You're gonna see it very soon. Coming soon. A stone on my way. This is Route 82. Nishinomiya. There's a radar right here. Make sure you don't go over 25 miles an hour, 40 kilometers an hour. Some little farms. And after this traffic light, in the next curve, we're gonna see a huge stone right in the middle of the way. I wonder why it's there. Right there. That's a big stone. If you're not careful, very easy to hit it with the truck. You gotta go very careful. From now on, it's gonna be even narrower, very narrow roads on this area. This part I was talking about before, some parts you just have to stop the truck if there's another truck coming or a bus, because the roads get a lot of curves and very narrow. If you're driving like a tractor trailer, this would be a nightmare. because even this straight job truck Jarif is about 40 feet long or so. It's still like you have to go over the other line, you know, some many times because it's very narrow, like here. Gotta go slow and very careful all the time. Another thing you learn in driving in Japan, to be very patient. In Japan, you either patient and you go slow, or you get in an accident very fast and very easy. Because so many places are so narrow, especially driving a truck. Even car sometimes is a little weird. This road doesn't, like, it feels like it's not even supposed to be trucks on it. The way is narrow and closed and a little bit dangerous, but it's okay. Many trucks goes over here, and it's actually the closest way to get where I have to go. Basically the best, because the traffic is so much better. Because if I took the regular highways paying tolls and everything, it could probably take another extra hour just to arrive there. As you can see, the truck coming is basically the length of the truck, as wide as a truck basically. And so many curves. Here is one of the dangerous places. Gotta go slow and be patient, or else you crash the back of your truck on the bridge over there. The bridge is a little bended because people crash their trucks probably. So gotta take your time, slowly and steady. Another narrow bridge. Another place there's a truck coming, you have to stop. And now on the street here, some of the electric poles are gonna be so close to the highway. Some are actually on the top of the line. On the white line you have on the left side, you're gonna see some poles on it. So if you just don't go slow and you don't be very careful, especially on crossing another wide vehicle, it's very easy to break your mirror. Very, very narrow. Another Japanese truck driving challenge. You see the poles are close here, but over there they're in the top of the line, like insane. Many places in Japan you see this kind of things, like the poles really close, and people are not careful, they don't pay attention. They can just crash their mirrors. And also sometimes people walking on the side, like this guy, but this is okay. Here the pole's very close. So if there's another truck, you just have to stop because the pole basically, and go very slowly, and also be very careful with the pedestrians. Like this. Speed limit here is 30 kilometers an hour. It's about 18 miles an hour. One thing you learn in Japan is always to follow the speed limit, or else it can get dangerous. Things can go wrong very fast. If you're not I don't tell people to be afraid, just tell you to be careful, A lot of people are afraid of driving in Japan. I know people here living decades in Japan, foreigners, and they just don't drive in Japan because they are afraid. I don't think you have to be afraid, I just think you have to be careful. As long as you're careful and you don't do stupid things, nothing bad happens. Here, for example, let's let the bus go first, because it's not possible for two large vehicles to pass here at the same time, especially the little pole over there. See, if you see here, you see the poles almost in the street, like it's insane how easy it is to crash a mirror on that. Wow, that was close. I think this basically was the worst so far. From now on, starts to get a little better. Some nice new houses over here. Yeah, most of Japan, there's narrow roads everywhere. Railroad tracks. As you can see, in Japan, everybody stops before it. Nobody just crosses. They got kind of a little fast and shit. Supposed to roll down your window, check twice, and you go. Even people on bicycles, they respect the lights like that. See that lady? Now the light is green, she's going. Japan is all about respect, you know, and most people respect the laws and the rules, which is very nice. And that makes a huge difference, you know, especially when you live in places where people don't respect much. That's another reason I love Japan, is all about respect. A funny thing comparing to America. In Japan, you don't see many cops on the streets. What you see is a lot of cameras. Most corners have cameras, radars. So it's very rare to see a cop pulling over somebody in Japan. There are some places they do that, some avenues, you know, some kind of, I would call speed traps, because they know those avenues sometimes are kind of wide and people just want to try to go a little faster than they're supposed to. So cops, of course, they stay there and get some people, you know, like they do in America. But on the highways, on the cities, most of places like this, you don't see a lot of cops. And what is interesting, even if you don't see a lot of cops, they respect, you know, most people respect everything. The laws. Of course, there's some stupid people doing some stupid things everywhere. But it's not the average, you know, it's the average. Normally people respect. Some people don't, but most, like I would say 95% of the people do respect the laws, the speed laws. They're very polite when you're driving. Like people are you coming out of driveway, people just stop for you and let you go in the front of them. Normally, you know, it's the opposite that happens in most places in the world. And that's a nice thing about Japan. The respect is something else here, you know. It's really nice to see that. I really enjoy living in Japan. One thing I don't enjoy living in Japan yet, sadly, is the language. I think it's a beautiful language, very nice, but the problem is so hard to learn, and everybody has some difficulty learning Japanese. For example, I've been in Japan for 5 years already, and my level of Japanese, even I studied maybe 6 months so far. I work hard, so I don't have a lot of time to go to school, and so my level of Japanese is like I just been in America for maybe 3 months, for example. Imagine a Mexican guy going to America and 3 months after he learns a little English. That's basically what it is. Even 5 years living in Japan. To learn Japanese, you really have to go to school, and you gotta put a lot of hours on it, a lot of effort. You know, people come to study normally in a year. If they go to school 4 hours a day, they get to a good level. But if you come here like I came, coming to live here, moving here, and to live here, and you have to work, you don't have, can just take 6 months or a year to go to school. It's a challenge to learn the language. It's pretty hard. Especially I drive most of the time at night, so I start to listen to Japanese, and because I don't understand, it gets me sleepy, so I can't just keep listening to. Like, for example, when I learned English, I just listened to a lot of radio and stuff. It was nice. Wasn't so hard. But in Japanese, it's complicated because the whole vocabulary is very different. The grammar and everything, you gotta go to school. It's not as simple as just watching anime or something like that. I wish it was, but it isn't. Especially when you're over 40. If you're young, I have like 20 years old, it's not such a challenge. But when you get over 35, things get harder to learn. It's not so easy. But it's an amazing country. Quality of life in Japan, on my eyes, is better than America, better than many other countries. Especially healthcare is so affordable. Hospitals are so nice, the way the doctors deal with the medications and stuff. Even the public services, like for example, you go to the city hall, you need some paperwork, some things like that. People are so polite, they treat you so nice. Japan, they have pride on be very good assistants. Like when they Japanese are a little different than Americans. For example, if you have your car and you have no battery, you need like a jump. Normally Japanese people don't give you a jump like an American guy would, or a guy from another country would. Some things they know you can call your insurance company and they come and help you. They don't care as much. Little things. But if you ask for informations and things like that, if they don't speak much English or no English at all, they always try to help you and they're always polite to you. But their culture is very nice. Of course, it's not perfect. Nowhere is perfect. But if you compare to many other places, I think it will be the top 5 places in the world, especially about education and respect, tidiness. As you can see, you don't see any garbage anywhere. It's so tidy. And for example, in America, they have these trucks and they clean the streets with brushes and stuff. In Japan, you don't even see that. What they do, they have this community agreement between the people who live on the street, on the same neighborhood. So people normally they get together once a week or once every 2 weeks, and they pick up the garbage on the streets if they see some. People don't throw garbage everywhere, of course. It's very nice. But even if there's any garbage, normally they make people, they get people together and they do that for free. They just clean it up everywhere. You see, sometimes it's Sunday, like 7 o'clock in the morning, and you see people just on the streets wearing some vests and just cleaning, just cleaning everywhere, keeping everything nice and tidy. So you don't see no garbage. which is very nice. Another nice thing about Japan too, most public places they have bathrooms because they have a lot of old people. Japan, about 25% of the people living in Japan right now are over 60 years old. So going to the bathroom in Japan, it's not really a big issue, you know. It's not like, for example, if you're in New York, you gotta go to like to McDonald's and buy something to go to use the restroom. In Japan, they just have restaurants everywhere, most places, and even if you don't have to buy anything to go to a restaurant in a convenience store. They always have nice and very clean restaurants. That's a nice thing too, you know, when you're traveling. If you're visiting Japan, it's the opposite of China. China is very hard to go to a bathroom. It's very dirty and bad, and as I seen people talking online. But in Japan, that's a nice thing too, you know. Tesla Model 3. Nice. Yeah, every day now I start seeing Teslas in Japan. I just seen a couple in the last 30 minutes. Little by little they're starting having here too. Sakura Shugugawa Station. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. I'm about to finish my journey for today. Start working yesterday around 6 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like almost 10 o'clock in the morning already, so I'm already doing 16-hour job tonight, as I do a couple times in every week. That's okay, you know. If you don't work hard, you never get anywhere. This is still Route 82. Probably another kilometer. We're going to go to 43 and finish our journey for today. I'm gonna take you guys all the way to the harbor, Nishinomiya Harbor. So now we're in the street. We are in the city. We already passed by the mountains. As you can see, the city is very wide and clean. Have farms and mountains and rivers and beach. It's a kind of city that it has everything, you know. And the feeling is like you're in the country, like, you know, it feels like a small city. It feels like something. I love the city actually. One of my favorite cities in Japan. At the same time, it's closer to the big place, the big cities, and you know, you have that feeling that you're living back in the country. If you live here, I'm not living here yet, but living in Osaka, so maybe in a few years I'll move over here. An interesting thing about this area, Nishinomiya, Kobe, you see so many nice cars on the streets. Most of the days you see Bentleys and Ferraris and Lamborghinis. There's a lot of rich people in this area. I heard, not sure, but I heard that this area there's a lot of mafia too. The Yakuza, the mob, dominates too this area. And that's why they say there's so many rich people and so many nice cars and stuff. Not sure, that's what I heard, you know. Then Kobe is still dominated by the mafia. But the mafia in Japan is kind of okay, you know. It's not like other countries. They actually help the people when disaster strikes. They actually faster than the government. The Japanese government is pretty efficient, but the mafia I heard here when they have the big Hanshin earthquake 25 years ago, and also when the tsunami hit Fukushima. Many people say the mafia helped people faster than the government. They brought food and supplies and things like that. So, you know, of course, mobs are mobs, still a crime syndicate, but at least they care for their people, you know, which is pretty cool actually. Alfa Romeo car dealer on the corner. Over there, the blue train going, it's called the Hanshin line. That goes always all the way from Kobe to Osaka, to the Namba area. The train system, the metro system is very nice in Japan. You can go basically everywhere by train if you live in the big cities, and that's why a lot of people in Japan don't even drive, which is good because the traffic is already crazy as it is. But traffic here is not so bad, just kidding. Traffic is nice. Tokyo gets crazy and sometimes on the day, you know. But comparing to other places, it's not so bad. When I arrived in Japan, some people told me, oh, places like Kobe and Osaka is very polluted. And not really. You see clear skies and you can even see the stars at night. It's much cleaner than many places, you know. Because all the trucks in Japan, they have to use this DPF system, so you don't see smoke coming out of trucks basically. Even diesel cars use that, collectors and stuff, so they keep pretty clean, you know. It's very nice. I don't see pollution here like they used to see in other places, you know. It's pretty clean if you compare to this number of cars and trucks and how crowded places are, you know. I think they do a very nice job keeping everything nice, you know, even the air. Over there, the bridge is over there. It's Hanshin number 3. It's another highway. The highway, it's 100% elevated. For many miles is elevated. And the highway going, we're about to merge, is the one under it. Is Route 43. Most of the highways in Japan, they are elevated when they get to the cities. So we always see from the top. Some places are as high as like 12 floors, 10 floors high. That one is like 5 floors high or something. Most places. But they use all the space in Japan, you know, even normally under the highways they make other highways, or they make parking lots. Some parts in Osaka they even have like shopping malls under the highway. Because the highway is so tall, they build under it and they make shopping malls and stuff like that. Some train stations too. Under the train station, they have shopping malls and shopping areas and restaurants, and some of them are kind of noisy sometimes, because you can hear the train passing over. Some of them, not them all, of course. Oh, this light takes a while. Kyoto Transport. There's a nice temple over here, a huge one. Last week there was like a party here, really crowded, traffic was really bad. But today is a normal day, so there's nobody there. We are under the highway. Nishinomiya Port, and this is the street that takes us to the harbor. A lot of people do windsurf in this area, a lot of fishing too. Close this shit. Let's go. On this street we have a Starbucks coffee and some many nice restaurants. A bakery, nice bakery I have over here. Sure. Kyusha ambulance. Another nice thing about Japan, ambulances are free. If you have to call them, you can call them anytime you want it. They come very fast and won't charge you a dime. In America is like $10,000 for a little ride. Most people take Ubers. Not in Japan. Here they take care of their people, which is very nice. On our left, on our right, in the middle of the block, is gonna be a little American brand car dealer. This guy sells Chrysers and Suburbans, Escalades. It's kind of small shop on the corner, but they have nice cars over there. Always some Mustangs. There's like a Dodge Charger over there. You don't see many of the stores here, only a few. American cars are not really popular in Japan because they use a lot of gas. In Japan, gasoline is like $5 a gallon, so basically double the price that you guys pay in America. So SUVs are not very popular around here. As you can see, most of the cars are minivans and small cars with yellow plates. That's it, guys. We are arriving at the harbor. I hope you guys enjoy this trip. Thanks again for watching. And I'll be back soon, guys, to show you more about Japan. This is the Nishinomiya Harbor. So today we drove from the mountains to the harbor. Nishinomiya City, next to Kobe. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace!